Mr. and Mrs. Brewster ran a motel in the opal mining town of Coober Pedy. The business had a light truck which needed to go to Adelaide for repairs. Their son-in-law, Mr. Roufos, was about to open a restaurant in Coober Pedy, but he also operated a semi-trailer. He transported the Brewster's truck to Adelaide. Mr. Brewster didn't want to go to Adelaide to drive the smaller truck back, so he agreed that if Mr. Roufos found someone else to drive the truck back, Mr. Roufos could load the truck with stuff for his restaurant. Roufos agreed and engaged a man named Joani to drive the truck back. He believed Joani was a competent truck driver. He loaded the truck with alcohol for the new restaurant and Joani drove it towards Coober Pedy. It was badly damaged along the way when it overturned. One cause of action raised by the Brewsters was in contract law, that Mr. Roufos had breached his agreement to safely return the truck. The court had to consider whether this was an enforceable agreement or whether it was merely a social agreement between family members. The evidence was that the whole scheme had actually been arranged between Mr. Brewster and his daughter, who was married to Mr. Roufos. Normally, agreements of this type within families are not considered to be justiciable, that is, they are not usually enforceable by the courts. The judge at first instance, however, found that this was a commercial relationship. It just happened to be a commercial relationship between family members. Chief Justice Bray agreed. He said, "It is true that the appellant is the son-in-law of the respondents, but they were conducting separate businesses at Coober Pedy. There was, according to the evidence of Mrs. Roufos, intermittent hostility between the appellant and the respondents, and the appellant had an important commercial interest in the transport of his liquor to Coober Pedy for the purpose of his new restaurant, just as the respondents had a commercial interest in regaining the use of their truck as soon as possible. The whole setting of the arrangement is commercial rather than social or domestic." What this shows us is that while agreements between family members are presumed to be unenforceable, this presumption can be rebutted if there is clear evidence that the agreement was made in a commercial context.